The geopolitical landscape of the Middle East in 2025 was marked by escalating tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States, culminating in a series of high-stakes military exchanges that brought the region to the brink of broader conflict. At the heart of these hostilities lay long-standing grievances rooted in Iran's nuclear ambitions, Israel's security concerns, and the strategic interests of global powers like the United States. The events leading up to the June 24 ceasefire agreement underscored the intricate interplay of retaliation, deterrence, and diplomacy within this volatile triad. 7. A pivotal moment occurred on June 23 when Iran launched a limited missile attack targeting Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, a facility housing U.S. forces. This strike, involving 19 missiles with 18 successfully intercepted, represented Iran's direct response to recent American bombings of its nuclear sites. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian framed the action as proportionate retaliation, rather than an act of war, emphasizing Iran's intent to balance aggression with de-escalation. 7. Notably, this event highlighted Iran's sophisticated missile capabilities while also demonstrating the effectiveness of modern defense systems employed by the U.S. and its allies. Simultaneously, Israel intensified its campaign against Iran, striking symbolic and strategic targets, such as Evin Prison and infrastructure near the Fordo enrichment facility. These operations aimed to exert pressure without pursuing regime change, reflecting Israel's calculated approach to achieving specific objectives amidst constrained political circumstances. 7. However, the strikes raised significant humanitarian concerns, particularly regarding the safety of detainees held at Evin Prison, a site notorious for housing political prisoners and dual nationals often leveraged in negotiations with Western nations. Casualty figures from the conflict revealed the devastating human toll of the hostilities. By June 23, Israeli strikes had resulted in 950 fatalities and 3,450 injuries in Iran, including 380 civilian deaths, according to data compiled by human rights activists. In contrast, Israel reported 24 deaths and over 1,000 injuries, underscoring the asymmetry in impact despite mutual claims of precision. Targeting. 7. Such statistics not only illuminated the scale of destruction, but also underscored the challenges of minimizing collateral damage in densely populated urban areas. International reactions further complicated the dynamics of the conflict. Russian President Vladimir Putin condemned Israeli and American actions as absolutely unprovoked aggression, aligning firmly with Iran. Conversely, Qatar criticized Iran's missile attack on Al Udeid Air Base, asserting it violated Qatari sovereignty and international law. These divergent stances illustrated the polarized geopolitical environment, where regional actors grappled with competing allegiances and interests. 7. Amidst the chaos, diplomatic efforts spearheaded by the United States yielded a fragile ceasefire agreement that took effect on June 24. Brokered under intense pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump, the truce marked the first significant pause in hostilities after nearly 2 weeks of missile exchanges. Although both sides initially breached the terms, stability was restored later in the day, with no further missile or drone activity reported. 10. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed victory, asserting that Israel had achieved all its stated goals, including the destruction of critical nuclear facilities in Iraq, Natanz, and Isfahan. Meanwhile, Iranian President Pezeshkian hailed the ceasefire as a total victory for Iran, highlighting the starkly contrasting narratives surrounding the conflict's outcome. 10. The ceasefire also brought attention to the humanitarian consequences of the 12-day war. Iran's health ministry confirmed 610 fatalities resulting from Israeli strikes, alongside additional losses among Red Crescent Society personnel. On the Israeli side, for individuals, including an 18-year-old soldier named Eitan Zaks, perished due to Iranian missiles. These figures emphasized the disproportionate burden borne by civilians, raising questions about compliance with international humanitarian laws. 10. Furthermore, the reopening of airspaces across Syria, Qatar, Iraq, and Israel signaled tentative steps toward restoring normalcy, though the psychological scars inflicted upon affected populations remained unaddressed. Statements from global leaders underscored the urgency of sustained diplomatic engagement. While Pezeshkian expressed readiness for negotiations under international frameworks, Trump criticized Israel for breaching the truce and demanded an end to further aggression. His assertion that brokering peace constituted a great honor reflected his administration's desire to claim credit for averting wider conflict. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reaffirmed Tehran's commitment to its nuclear program, framing the sacrifices made by scientists as justification for continued development. 10. These opposing perspectives encapsulated the broader geopolitical dynamics shaping the crisis. Technical analyses of the conflict revealed advancements in missile technology and defense systems. For instance, debris from a malfunctioning Iranian missile triggered false alarms at Ain al-Assad base in Iraq, illustrating vulnerabilities inherent in modern warfare strategies. 7. Such insights hold implications for future military doctrines and underscore the need for enhanced coordination among regional stakeholders. Iranian missile strikes against Israel. Analysis of military engagements and strategic implications. The escalation of hostilities between Iran and Israel reached a critical juncture in June 2025, marked by a series of Iranian missile strikes targeting Israeli infrastructure. These engagements were not only a significant display of Iran's military capabilities, but also underscored the strategic objectives driving its retaliatory actions. On June 22, 2025, Iran launched 2 volleys of 27 missiles, including advanced ballistic systems such as the Kheibar Shekan missile, targeting key locations like Ben Gurion Airport, near Tel Aviv, research facilities, and command centers. 1. This marked a notable intensification of regional tensions following the U.S. bombing of Iranian nuclear sites, with Tehran framing its actions as both defensive and retaliatory. The Kheibar Shekan missile, unveiled in 2022, represents one of Iran's most sophisticated ballistic missile systems, with an estimated range of 1,450 kilometers, 900 miles, and the capacity to carry the heaviest payload in Iran's arsenal. This weapon highlights Iran's intent to leverage its cutting-edge military technology amid escalating hostilities. 1. Named